Absolutely, and I think we've seen, I'm a big believer in fostering a love of learning. I think that that's, like, the best gift that you can give a child at a young age because it's gonna set them up to want to learn later.
Hmm.
And I think we've seen a shift away from the desks in early childhood classrooms, the worksheets or workbooks, and we've seen a shift more towards that hands-on learning, and I think it's so valuable. And I love that you brought up the dramatic play center because in my classroom, when I taught pre-K, this was always one of the most engaging areas because I would literally theme the entire thing floor to ceiling to whatever our theme was. So when it was farm theme, we got like a big photo booth backdrop with the barn doors. There were vines hanging from the ceiling. There was hay on the floor. They could plant their pretend food in the garden beds. They could sell stuff at the farm stand. Well, at the farm stand, there was a cash register, and you had to read the price sheet, and you had to calculate how much people owed you for what they bought. In the chicken coops, there was a checklist to take care of the different elements for taking care of the animals. So you had to kind of read. Obviously, there were pictures as well, but read what you're supposed to do, check it off. There's a sign out sheet to sign out farm equipment. You have to write your name. Like all of this can be brought into the dramatic play to the point where the children don't even realize that they're like doing work, that they're writing
Exactly.
their names or counting and all of those things because they're playing. And there is nothing that young children love more than getting to pretend to be adults. Let's be honest. Like
Yeah.
whether it's wanting to be a trash truck driver, a farmer, a postal worker, or whatever it is, like they're so thrilled to get to actually live it.
Yeah, I mean, play really is the work of the young child, right? And I think we've seen it over and over again. And just how you described how all of these, the experience with the farm dramatic play, exercises all the different areas of development beautifully without them even realizing. You mentioned the Reggio curriculum, and, Reggio is huge on emergent learning, right? Taking the needs and interests of the children and then developing that into something like, you know, if there are a couple children in your class that, talk about going to the doctors, and you decide to make a learning experience out of that, that's a great opportunity to then put that in the environment, right? And make invitations for them to explore. And those experiences are those mathematical and literacy experiences that you described. And when they can connect it to their own lives, that's when that memory there kicks in, right? So it's like their memory of those experiences is going to far exceed instructional teacher-led experiences where they're just instructed to sit down and do A, then B, then C, then D, right?
Absolutely. I think about like those simulations and really like big hands-on things that I did even in elementary school. Like I so vividly remember in my first grade class, we built a restaurant and we got to actually cook like real food. And each other grade came to visit and we rotated like you were either a waiter, or you were in the kitchen, or you were the cashier or the host. And we served food to the whole school the whole day in our little restaurant that we built out of blocks. And that was one of the coolest experiences I ever had. And I remember it so vividly all of these years later. And honestly, I think that's kind of what inspired me to get into education because I always wanted to create experiences like that for my students.